All right. Good evening once again. Thank you very much for being here. Lovely, lovely Thursday evening. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Glad to be here once again. Folks on TikTok, thank you for being so kind. 32K likes on TikTok. Thank you very much for your support. I'm going to call out some of the names, but it be like say, who told them to change the UI on this TikTok? Okay, I found it. So that clap, Abi71, Ibo Jinodu, Koboko, and every other person who helped Power Tap to get us to this number. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Madam Ibironke Kroleo Esheo, thank you for being here. Good evening, everybody. For those of us on YouTube, thank you very much for joining us. Please like and share the live. You can also, repeatedly tap on your phone. That helps. That's on your screen while you're on YouTube. Okay. Apparently, they're doing that on YouTube now, so it helps the algorithm to recommend the live stream to other people. All right. If you're on Facebook, please like and share as well. And for those on Twitter, please like and repost. Today, we're supposed to read a book, right? Maybe we will. But at this rate, I think we're just going to get into the news. We'll push the book to tomorrow. A number of things are happening at the same time, and I also don't have a lot of time because of a prior engagement. But I knew I had to be here today, so I'm glad I am. But going to make it very quick, if you don't mind. So let's begin. 1 second. Let me just check folks on YouTube to be sure we're good on YouTube, and then we can get started. Ṣé ara gbogbo wa le? Ṣé dáadáa ni gbogbo wa? Olóòótọ́ kò ní kú síbi kan. I think Brahmo is actually, not just I think, Brahmo is actually very, very, very brilliant. By the way, if you're on YouTube, you're just joining us, or on Facebook, we're listening to some music, and the last song was Onarewaju by Brahmo. I mean, that's a brilliant, brilliant piece of music. The guy is good, very good. Oh, shoot. We didn't change our titles. Oh, dear. So, okay, we can do that on... Please give me a second, everyone. Oh, boy. I just noticed that the YouTube title is what we did yesterday, so I'm going to change it. Give me a second, please. I knew something was off, just didn't know it was this one. Mambo. So on TikTok, we just wrote news and more. But what we're going to be discussing today actually has to do with the news from Oyo State House of Assembly. All right, so we're titling this "No Deal with Bandits." I mean, you can see it on the screen apparently. So even if the title is different, your device, you can see the title on the screen. No deal with bandits. Oyo rejects negotiations. And then we will talk about state police and also the fake kidnap event that happened and what the police have done to deal with that particular situation. So while in Oyo State they were having a conversation about negotiations with kidnappers, in Abuja, the federal parliament, the conversation was about state police. So that means that we're making progress in this country. Dear, but we're going to get there. All right. Give me a second. I want to make sure that folks on YouTube are properly taken care of so that all of us will be taken care of at the same time. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. YouTube and Facebook. We'll just do Twitter and Twitch. So, King Leo. Oh, you're joining us for the first time, you know. I'll say for the first time. Or maybe last time you saw me was on camera. We'll be on camera hopefully maybe tomorrow or some other time. There's a lot of things going on. We'll talk about it some other time. But yeah, thank you very much for being here. Let's get into the conversation. No deal with bandits or your rejects negotiations, state police and fake kidnapping. We begin with this video from Oyo State House of Assembly, and you know the speaker, you know, was presiding over a plenary session, and he had some interesting things to say that I think that we all should listen to. Just give us a few seconds to have our devices recalibrate, I guess. Again, please, while we're listening, let's power tap, let's share the live. That will go a long way, you know, in helping the algorithm recommend the live stream. Mr. Remy says, very good. No negotiations with Fulanis. I don't think the conversation is about Fulani right now. This Fulani thing, I'm going to play you. You know what? Maybe it's even good that you started this. Let's start with that one. Just very quickly. I want to play you something from a Fulani man, and then we'll go deep into this. They did not say no negotiation with Fulani. They said no negotiation with bandits. But since you started with this one, I think it might be just, you know, apt for us to begin with this particular tape. Please listen to this Fulani man who was kidnapped a while back, and it was abducted person. By the way, it was abducted, and he narrated his experience after being kidnapped, and some interesting things came out of that conversation. Please take a listen to this.
Chinese ni ru.
Ṣé bí Fúlàní ni wọ àbí?
Fúlàní ni mí dáde.
Kí ló dé tẹ̀yin ọmọ gbéyàn?
Àwọn ò lè gbéyàn bàbá torí pé a ní bísínẹ́sì tá a fi ń jẹ. Kò é dẹ̀ tún ṣe ojú ọ̀nà wa. Àwa gan ọ̀bẹ náà ká lè gbéyàn. Torí bísínẹ́sì wa ti wà.
Ó ní láwọn Fúlàní yẹn ti gbé ẹ rí. Ṣé àwọn Fúlàní ara yín náà ni?
Àwọn Fúlàní ni ìbọn wọn kì í ṣe Fúlàní ti Nàìjíríà. Fúlàní Chad ni gbogbo àwọn tó wá, àwọn mẹ́fà ni jáwá mú wá. Àwọn mẹ́fẹ̀ẹ̀fà yẹn kò sí Fúlàní ti Nàìjíríà ń bí báyìí. Kò wọ́n ní ẹni tó ń fún wa ní information. Àmọ́ ẹni tó ń fún wa ní information ẹ̀ Hausa ni. Hausa ni. Torí gbogbo bí wọ́n ṣe ń lọ bí wọ́n ṣe wọ́n ń communicate pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Wọ́n máa pè so Hausa ni ẹni tí wọ́n jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀gá àwọn yẹn. Gbogbo wọn kò sẹ́ni tó jẹ́ Fúlàní tiwa ń bí. Nígbà tí wọ́n ṣe tí wọ́n gbà wá tí wọ́n gbé Chinese, nígbà táwọn Chinese sanwó táwa náà sanwó tí wọ́n kó ń bẹ̀ ọba gba ọ̀nà Abẹ́òkúta báyìí lọ wọ́n tún gbà wọn kàn bẹ̀ wọ́n gbowó bí wọ́n ṣe jáde nìyẹn. Láti ìgbà yẹn Ọlọ́run fi jẹ́ ká gbúrò wọn mọ́. So gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe yẹn tí wọ́n ń pariwo Fúlàní wọ́n kàn ń bọ orúkọ Fúlàní jẹ́ ni. Ọ̀pọ̀ Fúlàní tá a jẹ́ Fúlàní Nàìjíríà wàláhì tàláyà àfẹ́ wàhálà. Tí wọ́n bá lẹ́ran ajẹ́ko àti màpé Fúlàní lóòótọ́ wọn lè dẹ̀ràn sínú oko. Àmọ́ tí a gbé bọn à ń jiyàn gbé à ń kidnap èèyàn ìyẹn ìṣeṣẹ́ wa o àmọ́ ọlá pé Fúlàní kẹ̀dẹ̀rẹ́ bí èmi ṣe kéré tó yìí mo sì mà bí ìran márùn Fúlàní ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ bí ọ̀nà márùn. Àwọn tó bẹ̀ wá ń sìn Fúlàní ni wọ́n ń sọ bọ̀ tí ọba jẹ́ irú àwọn àtà jáde pẹ̀lú Fúlàní dáadáa lè gbọ́n nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ torí Fúlàní yẹn ó yàtọ̀ sí tiwa. Ó yàtọ̀ sí tiwa bá a ṣe jọ wà pẹ̀lú wọn bẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n ń pe àwọn ará àwọn lé táwọn yẹn tún ṣàdúrà fún wọn orí WhatsApp wọn máa pera wọn táwọn yẹn tún máa ṣàdúrà fún wọn táwọn kan tún máa béèrè property wọn lé lọ́wọ́ àwọn yẹn dáhùn wàláì wọ́n sọ fáwọn yẹn pé àwọn ẹran táwọn gbé lọ sọ́jà pé àwọn ò tí ì tà wọ́n pé táwọn bá ti tà wọ́n pé àwọn ń bọ̀ àwa lẹran tí wọ́n ń sọ.
ẹ̀yin tí wọ́n mú.
àwa tí wọ́n mú àwa lẹran tí wọ́n ń sọ.
wọn ò tí ì rí wọn tà.
wọn ò tí ì ra àwọn ẹran tí wọ́n kó wọn ò tí ì rí wọn tà.
wọn ò tí ì gbowó.
nígbà tí wọ́n táwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n wa wá kówó wá wọ́n yọ 2000 fún mi nínú owó yẹn nínú owó ìtọ́jọ́ mi wọ́n yọ 2000 fún mi ọmọ kan náà wà ń bẹ̀ wọ́n yọ 2000 nínú owó tiẹ̀ náà ẹ̀gbọ́n kan náà tún wà ń bẹ̀ wọ́n yọ 2000 nínú owó tiẹ̀ náà wọ́n ní bóyá a máa lọ ṣe oògùn sínú abẹ́rẹ́ ká lọ sátírà sínú ẹ̀ pé àwa àti wọn kúkú jọ ná owó yẹn náà ni ara mílíkì ara mọ́ọ̀tì ara sìgá oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ni wọ́n ní ká ara wa ń jẹ̀yẹ̀ kí wọ́n tó jù wálẹ̀ kí wọ́n tó máa lọ.
pé kẹ́yìn náà nánú ẹ̀ tó wáyé pé wọ́n ṣe pèsè owó.
oúnjẹ tí wọ́n lè gbé wá oúnjẹ tí wọ́n gbé wá wọ́n á ní kí n kọ́kọ́ rò ó pọ̀ báyìí mo rò ó pọ̀ mo jẹ díẹ̀ after àgbà bí ìṣẹ́jú 5 tí wọ́n á rí pé nǹkan kò ṣe mí ni gbogbo náà bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jẹun. so kìíní yẹn báyìí kìíní yẹn tí wọ́n fẹ́ tú wa.
ẹ tó gbóúnjẹ wa so ó sún ẹ̀yìn gan náà.
tá a bá ti ní orúkọ míì tá a máa jẹ́ láti lè change sí Fúlàní àbá ti change wàláhì àbá ti change ní ti báyìí wàá kà máa lọ ń gbọ́ ní ìgbà míì nínú ìgboro wàá kà yọ síbì kan wàá máa gbọ́ tí wọ́n máa dá sàkà bandits ti dé o bandits ti dé o a kò máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni dog a máa lọ tiwa tó wọ́n á ti kó gbogbo wa pọ̀ àìkí ń ṣe the same thing a yàtọ̀ sóríṣiríṣi Fúlàní Nàìjíríà tẹ bá rí kidnapper 20 tó bá ṣàdédé tẹ bá ti rí lọ́kì wá kẹ rọ́mọ ọ̀dọ́ wa gbá kẹ rí 2 àbí 3 nù tí wọ́n máa sọ fún ọtí.
níbo tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ráwọn àjòjì yẹn ẹ máa tètè rìpọ́ọ̀tù wọn fúnjọba pé àwọn àjòjì ti dé bí báyìí o.
ṣe rí àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ visa kò ṣe pé àwọn èèyàn ọ̀ma ibi tí wọ́n wà gbogbo irú Kwara State tí wọ́n ń ṣe yẹn wọ́n á ti máa gbé nú àwọn igbó rìsáàfù ńláńlá yẹn ibẹ̀ ni wọ́n múlé sí. torí gbogbo èèyàn tó bá ti kó náà inú igbó yẹn náà ni wọ́n máa lọ. so igbó yẹn sì tó bá lásìkò òjò báyìí àwọn Fúlàní máa ń da màálù lọ sọ́hun tẹ́lẹ̀ tẹ́ bá ti dá màálù dénú igbó rìsáàfù yẹn kò ní ìdí kó ń tẹ̀lé ẹran wàá ju ẹran lẹ̀ á jẹ̀bi bí irú.
All right. Interesting stuff. Someone in the comment section says Natakia. Here's the truth. Sometimes it is takia. Make no mistakes about it. Sometimes people just come and finger combo in Loju and make up stuff and say, oh, we're not the same person, we're not the same group, it's another group, but we're all Fulani, but it's a different one. It can be takia. And that I've witnessed that a number of times. However, there are certain things that they said that are correct. Now, of course, takia doesn't mean you're not going to have some truth somewhere, but I think it's also important to highlight some things because someone wrote in the comment section, Fulani into the Mayamaru. It is true that Fulani has subgroups. That's true. Just the same way Hausa has subgroups, Yoruba has subgroups. I mean, Fulani also has subgroups. And that's a fact. I'm going somewhere with this though. Before I finish what I want to say, because something I'll need, give me a second, I'll need to play you something from Bala Mohammed later so that it will help me to create the balance that we require. Because when it comes to this conversation, we need that balance. We don't want to be what's the word now? A victim. We don't want to be victims of Takia. Okay? Because there's a victim of Takia where you're now saying, oh, but you also don't want to be the person who says everybody you see that's a Fulani, deal with them because, of the reality that we're facing. Okay, so let me just quickly tell you what I want to say. So number one, there are different types of Fulani. Okay, I mean there are two broad categorizations, two very broad categorizations. One has to do with the nomadic Fulani and the sedentary ones. So the nomadic or the pastoral Fulani, and then you have the sedentary, that's the Fulani, that's the two broad categorizations. But when it comes to using regions or geography to determine them, they usually use, and it's quite interesting that these days they use countries. I can say yes, Town Fulani is the sedentary Fulani. They are the ones who sit down in one place. Àwọn lẹ́mọ̀ àlera wàrà lọ́wọ́ ìyàwó wọn Marafura, that the ones that sell those things, they live, they are in one place, okay? They are not moving all over the place. And you find them, even Yoruba land, you find them, a lot of them in Ishayin, in the northern part of Oyo State, you have a lot of them who live there. They are sedentary, and they're also in Kwara State, Please stay with me before you think I'm making the point for any ethnicity. Just stay with me, please. Now, there are those who are from Futatoro. Futatoro, Futajalon. Futatoro is in Senegal, and I'm sorry, some of the people that still have that ethnic identification or designation, you still find in Senegal and in Mauritania. You have the Futajalon guys. Those ones are in Guinea and in Sierra Leone. You have the Masina. They are in they're in Mali, right? Then you have the Sokoto and Borno in northern Nigeria. Then you have the Adamawa in eastern Nigeria. When I say Adamawa, that's Fulbe Adamawa, Fulbe Sokoto, Fulbe Jalon. So it's Fulbe Futa Jalon or Fulbe Futa or Futa Toro. So Fulbe is like the word before. I don't want to call it a prefix because it's a separate word, but you can call it a prefix before the location. So Fulbe Adamawa, Fulbe Sokoto, and so on and so forth. So when he said that there are people actually coming from another part of the country and they are different from themselves, that bit is true. It is true that it's just like saying that you have Hausa people in Nigeria Republic, you have Hausa people in Nigeria, and then the Hausa person in Nigeria is saying that they are different. There's a different Hausa. I mean, he's not saying they're not Hausa. He's just saying that Hausa is not their own ethnicity. So it's important to actually, what's the word now? Acknowledge that difference. Having said that, I'm going to play you a video because we're going to find the balance before we go. Having said, I'm going to play you a video from the governor of Bauchi State, Governor Bala Mohammed, and what he said about this situation, and then we're going to quickly address it. Take a listen to this.
Because we will try more to cultivate that culture in our people, while at the same time bringing the Fulanis in one fold and try to arrest their traditional practice of moving from one place to the other. And that is very big, an uphill task. But I think we can communicate with them more, because to them they don't have borders from Cameroon to Nigeria.
But that's the thing, Excellency. How do we ensure that those who will be participating in this federal government largely funded program will be Nigerians?
In terms of the funding?
No, in terms of the
operations.
Operations. You said to bring in the Fulanis together.
The issue of misconception, I say there is a lot of mistrust and misconception with regards to the Fulani man. The Fulani man is a global or an African person. He moves from the Gambia, from Senegal, and his nationality is just a Fulani man. And as a person, I may have my relations in the Cameroon, but they are also Fulani men. I have relations because from the maternal side, I'm a Fulani man. And that is why we want to educate people. A Fulani man sees himself as a Bayelsan, as somebody coming from the Niger Delta, because he speaks the Niger Delta language, which you and I don't. And of course, we would have to just take this as part of our own heritage, something that is African, and that we cannot just close the border and say the Fulani man is just a Nigerian or this. No, in most cases, the crises are precipitated.
See, that thing that you just said, it's absolutely ridiculous. When you say, oh, Fulani, West Africa, they are all over for one ethnicity, Nigerian Fulani. You say, oh, there's nothing like Nigerian Fulani. They're just, international, they're just global citizens. They can move anywhere. Does that mean that if Nigeria government wants to do something for Yoruba people, I can go and bring people from Benin Republic and Togo to come and take advantage of those things? Because after all, we're all global citizens. See, that's where the issue is. You cannot suddenly forget sovereignty when you're talking about your ethnicity. If everybody wants to forget sovereignty when talking about their ethnicity, then there will be no Nigeria, because I have a lot of brothers who are not even Nigerians and they're Yoruba. And I think the difference between what the governor of Bauchi was saying and what the other Fulani man was saying is that the Fulani man that we listen to, he understands that he's Nigerian. And he can tell the difference between himself and others. The governor of Bauchi is making it look as if once you're Fulani, it doesn't really matter where you can go anywhere and take advantage of any policy of government, regardless of where you are from. That's ridiculous. So if you're going to be using taxpayers' money to take care of your citizens, you're going to be taking care of Fulani from Futajalon because you want to prove that they are global citizens. Like, does that make sense? These nuances, and I think we usually just, look, I would say overlook, or maybe not even understand the nuances when we have these conversations. But the idea that a Fulani man belongs to everywhere, that one would not work. First of all, I really wish we were having I'm on camera, because I'd have loved to cut this out and put it out there. But maybe we'll talk about it another time. But it's ridiculous, right? But when you look at what the young man was saying, that he's Fulani, but he was abducted by other Fulanis. It's just like saying a Yoruba person is robbing a Yoruba man, or an Igbo man kidnaps Igbo people. Does that not happen? The one that was caught last week, the Ifeanyi guy that came in from abroad, trying to kidnap somebody in Ejigbo. The person who was trying to kidnap was also Igbo. You can have that intra-ethnic thing. That one, there's nothing new about that. However, you've got to be able to speak up on that matter without having to let your ethnicity color your judgment. So I say all of these things. This is not even the topic. It's just because somebody wrote something about Fulani in the comment section, and the person is not wrong, right? There are bandits, and most of them are Fulani. Let's make that very clear. As a matter of fact, a few years ago, they were designated as number 4 terrorist group. I don't know if it's most terrible or whatever. I don't know how they rank them, but child number 4 of Mosi. IPOB was on the list as well, just in case some clowns, like the one that came here just laughing. I don't know what's wrong with you people. You're not properly raised. The one that Igbo boy that was talking in the comment section. I've muted you now. Your IPOB was also on the list of terrorists in Africa, in fact in the world itself. So that's something you should be happy about. Congratulations, eh? Okay. Having said, they had to pay ransom, and how the abductors shared some things with them so that in case you want to curse them or, use juju on them much later, it not go after them because now you chop the money together. That kind of thing. So that's his own experience, and I think it's valid. Number one. Number two, we can know that experience for one reason and one reason only. So that whenever I say a Fulani person, I don't assume that person is a bandit or is one of those bandits. Do you get? And I think that is important, because if you move around life thinking that everybody you meet is trouble, even the ones you're supposed to help, you will not help. The ones that are supposed to help you, you'll not be able to get their help. That's life. But that doesn't mean we should now forget the fact that we've had people like Governor Bala Mohammed say what he said, that they are global citizens and belong everywhere. That does not make sense. When you're talking about sovereignty and borders, you cannot say the Fulani man does not see borders. Shoju Efoni, is he blind? There are borders. As much as I love my brother who is Yoruba, who is in Benin Republic, I know that he can never be Nigerian, and I cannot become a Benin. I'm not planning to be anyway. I'm glad to be Nigerian. But you get the point. The point is, you cannot suddenly say for this ethnicity or borders don't exist anymore. That's not how things work. If something's good for the goose, it's got to be good or sauce for the gander. Having said that, let's get to the topic of today. So we'll begin with the House of Assembly, the Speaker of the House of Assembly in Oyo State, and what he said about negotiating with bandits. All right. So let's get started with that. Take a listen to the Right Honorable Ogundoyin, Right Honorable Debo Ogundoyin in the Oyo State House of Assembly plenary session. Take a listen, please.
That is necessary for them to bring these children and teachers back. If it was up to you, would you negotiate with terrorists? If terrorists ask for weapons, they ask for money, they ask for concession on future laws of this land as part of their ransom, if you are the governor, would you accept those ransom? Would you accept for those people to be integrated into that community? We don't know the details. So please, let's be sensitive and calm. You do not know the details. The more you negotiate with these people, the more you are going to embolden them. So please, a motion has been moved and duly seconded. Those in favor of the resolution within the motion, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
Here's something from Oyo Affairs. Orire abduction. Oyo Assembly rejects negotiation with terrorists. Urges FG to expedite state police. The Oyo State House of Assembly on Wednesday called for intensified rescue operations to secure the release of victims abducted during the recent bandit attack on schools and communities in Orire local government area. The House also rejects suggestions and calls that the state government should negotiate with terrorists. The resolution followed a motion of urgent public importance moved by the lawmaker representing Orire State Constituency, Honorable Johnson Ogundele, during plenary shortly after the House resumed from the Del Salah recess. The motion, titled Urgent Need for the Executive Arm of Government through its security architecture to proactively nip in the bud the spike and recurring bandit attacks on Orire communities since the beginning of 2026 and to intensify rescue and manhunt operations to secure the release of the abductees of the recent attack on Eshenle, Oyo, and Yawota communities, highlighted growing insecurity in parts of the local government. Presenting the motion, Ogundele recounted the May 15 attack on Eshenle, Oyo, and Yawota communities in Orire local government area, where armed bandits invaded schools during school hours, killing a teacher, a student, and an Okada rider, while abducting dozens of students, pupils, and teachers. The lawmaker expressed concern over the recurring attacks in the area, noting that Orire had witnessed increasing bandit activities since January, including the attack on the National Park Service office at Oloka village, where 5 forest guards were killed. He commended Governor Seyi Makinde for his swift response, deployment of security operatives, rescue efforts, and personal visits to the affected communities, while urging the state government to intensify support for security agencies and establish a permanent military base within and around vulnerable communities and forest corridors in the area. That's a mouthful. All right. So yeah, like I said, that's a mouthful. That's a lot. But the whole idea is to ensure that, the representative of that particular constituency is speaking up for them as it should be. And it's in that here, not there for me. It's not something like you know why you cannot afford to negotiate with terrorists. You know why. You embolden them. All the things that the speaker said, factual. But then it's not so easy for me to just say, oh yeah, he's right. It's not like he's wrong, to be clear, but Oribakon. And Oribakon, because I know, of course, it is weird. People who make demands. And I've checked everywhere. I've not seen the demands. I've seen the demands, but I don't know if it's something that's authenticated, right? So I've heard about it, but you can't find it in any reputable news outfit or publication, all right? But I've seen it, and the speaker also alluded to some of those demands, and the demands include, the ones I saw, and I think it's weird. I don't know where. I'm very careful. I don't want to read this thing, and I'll tell you why. I don't see it in any publication, any newspaper. And you know what is happening right now? Anything can just go on social media. People make it look as if it's authentic, and everybody's talking about it, and it looks as if you're giving it a life of its own. That happened a few days ago. WhatsApp and streets. I heard that in certain cities and towns across Southwest, the streets were just abandoned around 8:30, 9 p.m. because of a particular WhatsApp broadcast. So even I can't. Everything I'm saying in the comment section, I see what you're writing, but again, I can't say those things here because I don't have any source. And if I begin to just say something because somebody said, so if you come and ask me now, where did you get it from? Somebody said, and everywhere I see it, everywhere I've seen this thing, I'm looking at it right now, I'm not going to read them. Everywhere you see, just see copied from who? You see? That's why I said I'm a bit, so when you're saying negotiate, are they really negotiating? Are they the ones that actually initiated these things? Is there any substance to it? Can anybody say, okay, I've read this particular thing from this particular place, this is what they wrote that these people have asked for? No. So while I get what you're writing in the comment section, I'm even looking at it right now, the so-called demands, which are very ridiculous considering, I mean, let's just stop there. But to be clear, if we get something that's more, serious, I don't want to be part of those people that will be sharing, fake news, because it's more dangerous sometimes to share fake news. Run for peace, and that's the funny thing. I hate. See, for peace, this is not the platform. Please, I'm begging you. I don't like negativity. I like reality, but the idea that when people just drop words like "will be overrun by," okay, so what's the benefit? People say these negative things, and all you get from it is shock value. Ayé àwọn kan ti ta, gbogbo ẹ ti bàjẹ́, gbogbo ẹ ti dàrú, kò sí nǹkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́. Okay, when people talk like that, what exactly is the goal? You inspire nobody. That's not what this platform is for, sincerely. Please. When you have this doom, gloom, okay, solution, none. None. And then the rest of, maybe people, for instance, who are not in Nigeria, whose family members are in Nigeria, or even many people who are in Nigeria who are listening right now, just hear these things that all of you will be over. Okay. So what do we gain from that? Please, not this platform, I beg. God bless you. Where was I? Can you there? Please don't. I beg. It doesn't. So back to what I was saying. I don't want to be. Oh, yeah, you know one of them. OA says now Broadians they always make those clips, but you're also abroad now. Oh, you are Broadians. No, I mean, but patereti John Torolon share àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan àtẹ̀jẹ́ pé kò láǹfààní tó máa ṣe fún wa. People just feel sad and feel helpless. Me, I'm a peddler of hope, if there's anything like that, right? And I like to inspire people. I don't mind discussing reality, but I also don't believe in just, surrendering to fate. Like, who does that help? Nobody. So that's what I was saying earlier. So people were typing, the different things that they said the bandits are saying. I keep saying that. I mean, if you've been coming to this platform, you notice that I'm always very careful to mention the sources of what I'm saying. And if it's my own lived experience, I'll tell you when it happened, how it happened to me. That way you can substantiate your claims. All right. People won't just say, where do you get it from? You'll be like, somebody sent it. All right. We have to be very careful. So once we are sure, we will talk about it. However, there was a particular guy who wasn't sure of nothing. He wasn't even sure that he has a brain. And he decided to put out fake news about something happening in. And I'm going to read to you what happened after I put out this video, which has actually gone viral. Take a listen to this.
Yes. Please, this is an alert. We're an alert. Yeah, Nigerians, please, this is an alert where I got this morning. Please, those of us that is Owodidiroko, please, if you are getting this video, begin to share it. Many of my followers from Owodidiroko, please share this thing to every WhatsApp or every group in Owodidiroko. Please. This we have to give this information. This one we have got an alert that the kidnappers is around this Owodidiroko. Please let the police, let every security in this place be very, very alert. Because that's what we are getting this morning. That everybody should...
I don't want to continue playing it because absolute nonsense. In fact, the way he started, you know that he's a fool. Someone says it sounds Igbo. Of course, it's Igbo. It's not even by ethnicity, but this one is Igbo. But he's actually a very foolish person. The way I want you to share it. Is the goal to share the information or to have people share your video? Very stupid clown. Let me read you what happened after it went viral. See all this virality that people are looking for. You will get it. I hope you will not get something else, sir. We have to verify things, so people have to be very, very responsible. But anyway, Ogun State Police Command press release. Ogun State Police Command arrests another suspect over false security alerts and fake news, warns against spread of misinformation. The Ogun State Police Command has arrested one Mr. Johnson Ele for producing and circulating a misleading video falsely alleging kidnapping and banditry activities along the Owode-Idiroko axis of Ogun State. Upon receipt of the viral video, the command immediately subjected its content to scrutiny and commenced a swift investigation to verify the claims contained therein. Findings revealed that the video was false, misleading, and deliberately designed to create fear, panic, and anxiety among members of the public. Extensive investigation and verification further established that there was no kidnapping or banditry incident as portrayed in the video within the Owode-Idiroko axis or its environs. Further investigation revealed that the suspect was featured in the video and was subsequently identified by detectives, leading to his arrest. Preliminary findings indicate that he deliberately fabricated and circulated the false narrative for attention and content creation purposes. How can you use fake news about banditry and kidnapping Yoruba land? Why didn't you do it in your father's compound where you are from? I mean, even that would be wrong, but at least you know that you are doing it among your family members. Content. A clown was also caught last week. That one is a tailor. Was doing content about kidnapping. Same Ogun State. They have to do something about this whole. So see, they will have to regulate social media at some point. I use social media every time. I mean, we have social media conversations here every day, but there has to be a limit. The idea that you have this absolute freedom with nothing curbing you, it's dangerous. So, because with a pongboro, with a their own war suit on what tie, there are many mad people in town. How can you make a false video about kidnapping and banditry in Yoruba land? Meanwhile, it did not happen just for content creation. Say they will send him to prison or something. May God have mercy on all of us, but people should use their brains. Social media is not a place because all these followers. What will happen with the followers at the end of the day? And that's the funny thing. Is it like followers? I mean, it's good to have followers because, of course, you're able to exert some influence. But at the end of the day, it's not like, okay, now that you have the followers, especially because you are very stupid and dumb making these fake videos, what are you going to do to keep them? Keep making fake videos until you kill yourself? During the course of the investigation, the suspect reportedly... Where was I? Yeah, during the course of the investigation, the suspect reportedly confessed to intentionally creating and disseminating the misleading content to generate online engagement and public reaction. Investigation is ongoing and the suspect will be charged to court upon conclusion of the investigation. For what? You go to prison because of likes and follows on Twitter and for what? People like this virality thing. It's good, Sha. At least you'll be popular. You're popular in prison. So you see, I mean, I'm not afraid of prison. That's not the reason I'm not. It's just that you have to be. I mean, basic. Shall we say we went to school, Abi? We should be verifying things. May God have mentioned all this, but this one is good that they've caught him. The beginning of that video is actually nauseating. I want you to share. Why do people do that thing? As you're watching this, I want you to share it. I want you to share it. What do you want to say? Say it. No. You've got to share it. Share it with all your contacts. He said they should share it on the WhatsApp, all the WhatsApp platforms across Owode-Idiroko. Share it across your WhatsApp platforms. wait, you know, people that you do, let's stop for a second. People do this thing a lot on social media. I see it a lot, and I'm wondering if what you are saying is worth sharing. People will share. I mean, it's okay to say share, but when it now becomes, when the first half of the message is share, Emma share, come and offer. Now they will share his prison. They will not share his prison with him now, Sha. By the way, just in case you don't know, if you're using social media in Nigeria, if you spread fake news, now prison, no. Or you pay fine. I think it's 7 million the last time I checked. Or you stay, is it 3 years or 7? I would look for the details. It's somewhere. Let me look for it and tell you. Just in case you are here and you have that urge to Emma share. It's good to share. I always tell people to share as well. There's no sin in telling people to share, because that also get the message out there. But when the focus is on sharing, you know that the focus is on the message. It's just on virality and popularity of the fake news purveyor. I'll see if I can find you that stuff. It tells you how much I'll share one. Okay, but to be honest, at this rate, because a lot of young people are getting the wrong message, particularly with with Twitter, where you have a lot of there's monetization now, so a lot of people want to get that money. People just make things up and they get themselves in trouble. Yeah, I found it. I was right. The penalty is a fine of up to 7 million naira, imprisonment for up to 3 years, or both. Okay? And that's for inauthentic data and fabricated footages. That's the cybercrime law. Let me read everything to you. Not everything, just to give you an idea what I'm reading from. Cybercrimes Prohibition, Prevention, and so on, Act of 2015, as amended by the 2024 Act. All right. Section 13 talks about inauthentic data and fabricated footages. All right. So if you're putting out fake news, you're sharing things when no happen, imprisonment for not less than 3 years. But when they say for not less than, may we not have problem with court though. Lawyers, I know lawyers listen to me. God will bless you, but we will not get in trouble. When they say imprisonment for not less than 3 years, they're saying that it will not be less than 3 years. It could be more. It could be 4. It could be 5. It could be 7. A fine of not less than 7 million naira. They say not less. They didn't say exactly 7. It could be more, but it cannot be less. So while you're trying to, someone say it is more money now. Rich man, well done. Even if you are rich now, what you want to take money to do that? Say free food for at least 3 years. I know you're joking, but man, it is well. Sha, please be careful how you use social media. There are laws, guiding the use of social media, and if you're sharing inauthentic data, fake information, fake news, whether you're doing it for virality, content creation, whatever Oyinbo you are using, go jail if you don't do the right thing. May we not become a real one. Having said that, Dada Shegun put out a message. I hear is a presidential aide. Oh, I know him. Presidential aide, Dada Shegun. He actually said something quite interesting about this whole thing. He says here, those behind fake kidnapping reports are part of terrorist network. I remember him now. I think it was one who was going to become the youth leader, but that works with the presidency. And this is what he typed on his social media handle. These individuals are part of the larger network of these terrorists. They deliberately create lies to divert the attention of law enforcement. So while they go to check a misleading claim, the areas they left are immediately targeted by these terrorists. It's possible. And by the way, I mean, he probably has information that many of us don't. But I'm glad that that's happening, okay? But again, if you're a social media user, please be careful. Let's be responsible, all right? Okay. There's another report here on Channels television, police arrest suspect over false security alert, fake news in Ogun. But while that guy, and the person who said he was Igbo is right, okay, if he's Yoruba, we'll say it's Yoruba, like the one that did the tailor last week, that was the Yoruba man. Okay, see, stupidity does not have ethnicity. It's just that some ethnicities don't mind, to have a lot of stupidity amongst them. You can make up your mind which ethnicity doesn't mind stupidity in large numbers. But it's important to curb these things. All right. In this particular case, I want to play you a couple of videos. It's actually from folks from the Southeast, and no, I'm going to come back to that later. Let me see. 1 second. I'll come back to that. Let me finish with the National Assembly before we go to these clowns, because if they pick these ones up now, you now begin to hear free Kinecon. Don't worry, when you hear what they said, you will understand why I'm talking like this. I might even do this tomorrow, because some videos you do, it's important to actually put it out, because this one I can't put it out, and that's the reason I'm not doing video today, by the way. Sorry, just a quick stuff. The person who talked about me not being on camera is because once I'm on camera, I have to edit, and then you have a lot of video backlogs. So that's why I'm not on camera, okay? But we're still having a great time regardless. So that's what matters most. All right, here is Senator Sonny Musa in the National Assembly asking the president to account for all the money, all right, that they've been budgeting for them, particularly with all this happening right now in the government. And I think he has a right to, he's a legislator, right? So he should be able to call the executive to order. So let's take a listen to him, and then I'll play you something from Senator Adams Oshiomhole before we now go to the calls made by certain Igbo guys. They will talk about that later. Please take a listen to Senator Sonny Musa. Oh dear, 1 second. All right, please take a listen.
Mr. President, in his wisdom, called his service chiefs to account for the resources that this National Assembly have been budgeting for. Because if this is not done, the issue of overcoming this issue of security is going to be a child's play. Today, go and check the economy. Go and check how the economy plays. Today, if you look at the indices that even give the growth to our GDP and areas where these expenditures are going, you will see that real estate is playing a role in this country. Who are the owners of these real estates? How does the resources come? We are here in National Assembly every day saying we want to appeal to Mr. President to look at domestic debts. I think there is that responsibility upon us as legislators to do our oversight without fear or favor. We need to do it. We have been allocating resources at a time. 3 of our budgets, defense was carrying the highest. And yet, every day, it is either we don't have the arms, or the money is not there to pay allowances for our servicemen. Where is the money going to? Not until we do this scrutiny, we'll not be able to get it right. Because security go hand in hand with also the expenditure. If we want security...
All right, so to be clear, I understand what he's saying, and I think he has a right to say these things. He's a senator, he's a legislator. They're supposed to check the presidency, the executive generally, so that's understandable. However, when we talk about security, I think it's beyond the army, isn't it? We have security officers, chief security officers as governors, right? They collect security allocations every month, security vote. Local governments also have their own monthly allocations So if we are going to, one of the problems I think we have in this country, and I again, I'm not against what the senator is saying, but I want to say something very quickly. We focus too much, center. We talk as though nothing else happens elsewhere apart from the presidency. So when we talk about government, for instance, I mean, you see it even in our conversations. When you hear government, the first thing you hear is president. You're not even thinking of the other arms of government. Nobody cares about the legislature or the judiciary. And nobody cares about other tiers like the state and local government. Everybody just, oh, what are they doing with money? I think it's important for us to be able to have like a holistic approach to this conversation, so that way, you know, we're able to actually provide a solution at all levels, not just at the center in Abuja. But what he said, I think it's important also for the presidency to speak up and explain how this thing is being done, where's the money going. The legislature, you know, has a right to ask these questions, and I hope they get the answers that they need and the ones that will also help the nation as a whole. Having said, I want you to listen to Senator Adams Oshiomhole, where he spoke to the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio. Please take a listen to this.
This Senate, under your leadership, we passed a resolution that the Military High Command should disclose the name of that officer, the action that had been taken against him, to satisfy us that that action was not willful, or that people who are entrusted to protect us, that some of them have not become part of our problem. Mr. President, I have always tried to be present in every day that this thing is sit. As I speak, I am not aware that we have gotten a response to that simple inquiry. If the armed forces is not accountable, if we do not carry out due audit and oversight on resources that we have all been blackmailed to appropriate to protect Nigeria, and we come here lamenting that the things is now taking over the country, I think we need to do more than that. Much. I join in, I associate myself with all the comments that have been made, and there can be no question that it is very troubling, whether for children, for adults, for men, for women, to wake up or even on their bed to be abducted and taken to all sorts of places. They go through dehumanization, they end up paying ransom, and even at that, some end up being wasted. I am not sure, having listened this morning, with profound respect to all my distinguished colleagues who have spoken, I didn't hear anything new. If past resolutions did not change anything, why should we believe that today's own will be different? And if today's own will not be different, why should we waste our precious time on it?
Boy, this security matters, eh? That was Senator Adams Oshiomhole. He talked about how certain people, even after paying ransoms, still get wasted. It's actually quite true, because there's a report here from the Yoruba Times. Families pay 20 million naira ransom. Food supplies to free Ekwa worshippers. Kidnappers still killed 5 victims. After months of negotiations, families of 5 worshippers abducted during an attack on an Ekwa church in Omugo, Orago. Emma Fiam is on Yoruba Itorio Long. Or maybe it's Orago district. Raised and paid 20 million naira alongside food supplies to secure their release. The abductors had initially demanded 1 billion naira before negotiating to 150 million naira. Despite the agreement, the kidnappers allegedly killed 5 of the 8 victims still in captivity. That's from the Yoruba Times. I saw it earlier today, and I mean, it kind of buttresses what Senator Adams Oshiomhole is saying. There's a lot of stuff happening, and not much of it is actually fun. And I hope that the security architecture in Nigeria is overhauled, Someone says state police now. I agree with you. We need that ASAP. All right. Interestingly, a politician was kidnapped in the north. Right. I'm going to find you the stuff here. Yes. So it was in Kebbi State. And one of them was identified as the APC party chairman of Kokobese local government area. And I'm looking at the video here. You should listen to it. So they're speaking Hausa, which most of us don't understand, but these are two elderly people kidnapped. One of them is the chairman of the party in a local government in Kebbi State. Just terrible stuff going on, and we're praying that there will be peace in our land, and also we're calling on the government to do the needful. Having said that, there's this movement recently where people, under the guise of calling the government to do the needful, are saying Tinubu must go. Let me quickly say something on that before I go on. When the Ibadan people decided to protest a few days ago, I mean, I supported it because I think it's important that people speak up. You know, the kids are in captivity. I mean, regardless of what they say they are doing, they are still in captivity. So if you want to protest for that, that is absolutely important. There's nothing wrong with that. But this new thing that's going on, particularly with the protests in Lagos and Abuja, is just nonsense. So, and I know we know the people who are doing it. See, they don't care about the children. They don't care about it. These are retards. They don't care about the children. If you want Tinubu out, you have to wait till next year, and it's not even going to go anywhere. If you want to hug a transformer, feel free to do so. Nobody cares because you're not really useful. Because if you are useful, you'd have used your brain. Campaigning and shouting somebody should go and resign, that's not how you change presidency. Tinubu must go. Go where? If you want to talk about the situation, let's focus on it and talk about it, that government should deploy everything they can. I mean, all the security architecture, security agencies should move into the forest and do something. Like, focus. I don't know what's wrong with those these young people that are always doing protests all over the place. Just most of them are dumb. That's how you started NSAS. We started NSAS with NSAS, right? And it was successful. Just in case you did not notice, NSAS was actually successful though. Until some clowns began to put all kinds of demands on it. Number one, this guy, Buhari should resign. They started asking for things that had nothing to do with NSAS. Some people even brought LGBT into the conversation. No focus. What's happening right now is that there is a problem with the security architecture of Nigeria, and it's not just in Oyo State, it's all over the country. But this one in Oyo State is it's like it has become a catalyst, right, for this protest and everything. And it's okay to protest, but focus on that. If you want to remove the president, go and vote next year and vote him out. You will not be able to vote him out, to be clear, Sha, because we want him to win. I know some people don't like that. I'd say it intentionally. So you know that this platform, this is not the place where you say, number one, I'm obedient. That's a sign of insanity, to be honest. Then the second one is that I don't belong in any. I belong in one camp. I want people to win, but I don't want him to win at the expense of people's lives. So if people are dying or people are in captivity, to be able to say, I'm not a sycophant. I can say, oh God, you're not doing well on this matter. You've got to do something. Why can't people compartmentalize? I can like you as a person and have a problem with the things you're doing or not doing right. And I call you out on the things you're not doing right. That doesn't mean I hate you now. I'm just telling you that, Oga, in fact, the reason I'm talking to you is because I like you. A sycophant is a person who never says anything against him because he's whatever. Oh, because he's APC, I don't care. Because he's Yoruba, that doesn't mean anything. If you're a Yoruba person and you're in government and you're moving mad, people should be able to call you out and say, Oga, Farabaleo. That's psychophancy. I don't belong in that category. You should be able to call people out. But to now jump from security issue, that's the issue. You can't leave the matter on the talk, say, make him resign, make him, Tinubu, go where? Go where? Which reminds me of the nonsense that Peter Obi put out earlier today. You guys are jokers, though. First, let me read this one first. Let me read this from Nigerian News Fair. Oyo school children abduction. Tinubu must go protest rocks Abuja. Protesting Nigerians on Thursday that's today, took to the streets of Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, demanding the immediate rescue of school children and teachers abducted by gunmen in Oyo State. The demonstrators, who marched in large numbers, expressed frustration over the worsening security situation, chanting slogans such as "Tinubu must go," "Rescue them or resign," and "Bring Nigerian children out." By the way, this "Bring Nigerian children" now, all those things, people should, let me not talk. It sounds like "Bring back our girls" now. Like there's, it is well. In a video circulating on social media, one of the protesters was heard confronting a motorist, saying, "Oga, Tinubu must go. You see what is happening today? You people are also a part of it." By the way, before I continue, there's a video I saw yesterday, I don't know if you saw it, of a lady, right, walking on a street by the road, right? And she was wearing this lovely t-shirt, but the back has the image of Tinubu. And you had this clown who is a terrible representation of men. Went and started harassing the ladies. You are supporting Tinubu, you are part of our problem. People, especially disobedient, they need help, like serious help. See, if you like, let your candidate is not even a better option, to be clear, but let's even assume it's better. If you cannot engage conversations like a rational human being, you should just leave politics. Politics is not for just pawns. People are just using you, and Obi knows what he's doing. People will discover that later. But let's get back to what I'm reading. I'll play you that video from that. Has to be a I was going to say psychopath, but let's leave that. So he says, I'm going back to the news report. He says, during the protest, participants also addressed police officers and deployed to the area, insisting that peaceful demonstration is a constitutional right and urging security personnel to cooperate with them. In a video circulating on social media, one of the protesters was heard confronting a motorist, saying, "Oga, Tinubu must go. You see what is happening today. You people are also a part of it. Take this video. I'm going to post you. I don't need any permission. You're a big man. Oga, go and tell people that you witnessed this thing." Let me pause and say something. People should read history. Maybe one day we'll do European history. French Revolution is not something as cool as it's made out to look in popular culture. It's probably one of the most terrible things to happen in France in the last, let's say, 3 centuries. Okay? This idea that you're going to have a revolution, you're going to destroy everybody, kill everybody. If you're a big man, you can do anything you like, and all of us are part of all of you are part of the problem. The clown that is talking to Zonda is also contributing to it, but no, just because I'm driving a car, it means I'm also part of the problem, because I'm the one that cursed you to be walking barefoot. So the point basically is that you just and this is not to say that the rich should also be acting as if everything is okay, oblivious of the realities of the poor. There's balance to all these things. All right, but this idea that you can just come on anybody that has something more than you, that they're the problem of Nigeria. Do you know how he got what he got? Do you know the kind of suffering he went through? Anyway, let me play you that video. What's your connection now, Mombo? So this 1 second. Okay, please take a listen to this. Oh boy. So we're having a little issue here. I'm going to find you that video again. I actually just lost it. But we will find the video. And here's the crazy part. When they're saying these people are actually very dumb. When you say Tinubu must go, and literally you're carrying a banner of OK, obedient and conquest in 2027, it shows that you're actually campaigning rather than protesting for the children protesting not to secure the release or whatever of the children that have been abducted. In other words, you don't care about those children. For you, it's just an avenue to campaign for the clowns that you guys are supporting. Take a listen to this video, please.
Take this video, I'm going to post you. Tinubu must go. Oga Tinubu must go. You are a big man. You see what is happening today. You people are also part of it. Take this video. I'm going to post to you. I don't need your permission. I'll post it. Tinubu must go. Oga, go and tell people you witnessed this thing. Everybody is part of it. Oga, see Oga here. His face is showing. I post this video. Go and tell Tinubu. These people have to be answered. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tinubu must go. Tinubu must go. Okay, Tinubu must go. Say out if you don't worship. Tinubu.
I think people have lost the plot. They've lost the plot. Okay. And there's one of these retards. I mean, we always attract great people, but sometimes also attract absolute clowns, retarded fellows who are direct descendants of retarded parents. One clown here wrote, kindly bring our children back. You guys are the cause of insecurity. Oh, bring them back. This is on YouTube, this live session that we're having right now. So it says, kindly bring our children back. Did they stop you from entering bush? Catherine, let me make you popular. Catherine Umejesi. Did they stop you from entering forest? After all, you're literally from the forest. So who stopped you from going inside the bush to help us rescue the children? Again, you guys are retarded. You are saying I should go and help, I kindly bring our children back. You guys are the cause of insecurity. How am I the cause of insecurity? And why should I go in? Am I trained to go in? On YouTube says Makinde has collected 84 billion naira as security votes in 7 years. Oriade local government is in Osun State, so I think what we're talking, this one is Oriade local government. I get the point, Sha. What you're saying basically is that Makinde has collected 84 billion naira as security vote, and the local government has collected money. What happened to the money? Mimi says Obedient do not like elections. They are the ones on IG chanting Tinubu must go instead of waiting to vote. It's just like the principal. He doesn't like primary elections. That's why he was hopping from one party to another. Baby of Okiri. These other ones are just made in his image. They don't like election. And here's the crazy part, by the way. This we don't think. So let's say Tinubu even resigns. Is it Obi that will become president? Or there? Eja can continue. Mimi says Yoruba have a robust history of protesting policies without generalizing. It's the IPOB people today trying to chase Tinubu. They are fascists. I mean, you're right. Protesting is your right. You have a right to protest. You have a right to call the government to order. But if you are from like forest where there is no civilization, there is no idea of politicking, you're just one-way traffic in your mind. If you are going to protest, it's because you hate the people and you want to destroy the government. That's the reason you are protesting. You cannot separate the issues from the personality. All I need can say. Adekunle wrote to me on Facebook, says, regarding the abductions, killing a mosquito on your back. It's not back you wrote, though. It's BLCS. I think he's talking about people's sacks, ball sacks. Well done. So he now wrote BLCS as, I think I know what you're saying, but I don't like saying those words. A bit funny to me. Regarding the abductions, killing a mosquito on your ball sack that's close to your penis requires wisdom, tact, nimbleness, all rolled into one. All right. White Kubo says, in 1965, Akintola made a speech and said his son of Zik attacked the leaders of other tribes while protecting their own leaders. That's in 1965, Abi. I'll take you back to 1938, where Zik perfected the skill of highlighting the faults of Yoruba leaders, but would never mention anything bad about Igbo people. 1938. By 1940, it was already given that he will publish news reports on crime in Lagos, across Nigeria, but particularly in Lagos, but it will make sure that the ethnicity, anyone who is Igbo, they will not publish the news. But if you're from anywhere other than being Igbo, they'll write your name there. If you're not Yoruba, they'll write your name and your ethnicity, just so people know that you are the ones. But for his own people, they are second to angels. They'll protect their own. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Peter Obi jumped on the bandwagon, and in his own wisdom, I guess he thought it was fooling some people. But like people say, you can fool some people every time, but you can't fool every person. Well, you can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool everybody every time. Something like that. So, I mean, we know how Igbos and Obedience have been insulting Pastor Adeboye. So Peter Obi put out a message, and this is what he said. The first paragraph, the second one, just ridiculous. It says, "Dear young Nigerians, one lesson from the 2023 elections, particularly in Lagos, should never be forgotten." That first paragraph is just absolute nonsense. I don't want to read everything that he said because it doesn't mean anything again. There were skirmishes across the southeast. The rigging in the southeast was the highest in the 2023 elections. We've talked about it here before. We have an article that's one fantastic guy worked on. It's on Substack. You'll find the link on the Telegram channel, Redomi Global. Okay? You will not see anything wrong with the people that were killed and people that were beaten in the southeast. You can't say something like particularly in Lagos should never be forgotten. These people, they will never mention what is happening back at home. This is why you cannot protest with people like this. So in my own frame of reference, I can protest in Lagos. I can protest anywhere, okay? But I'm focused on the issue. These ones, even in my hometown, in my land, in my state, which is what we usually do as Yoruba people, we protest in our land. In fact, the other day, people were protesting in Badon, in Abeokuta, and now in Lagos. People are protesting in Yoruba land, Yoruba people, and they have a right to do that, right? But they will focus on the issue, right? But these ones, they will never talk about what's wrong at home. They'll be going everywhere, constituting news stands, telling everybody how things should be done, particularly in Lagos, particularly in your mouth. Can you not talk about what happened in your own region? No, because you are one Nigeria. Anyway, because this thing is getting out of hand, certain people are beginning to speak up, and of course, one of them is Sunday Go, because of course he launched his security network a while back. But before I play what he has to say, there is a video here from the Obala of Imesile, High Chief Tunde Peter Aluko, who sent a message to Fulani herdsmen who have been threatening to one second. Okay, to Fulani herdsmen who may want to, let me make it very clear, who may want to get into their land. And I think it's important to also listen to stuff like this. So please take a listen to the High Chief Tunde Peter Aluko, the Obala of Imesile. Take a listen, please.
Yes. Enough, please. Enough. Gbogbo ọmọ mẹ̀sí ní ilé tọkọ. Bandits ọ̀mẹ̀sí o. In fact, bandits yẹ ọ̀mẹ̀sí. Ẹ̀kúnná bá jó gbogbo dójú. Ẹlẹ́fọ̀pá òrìṣà alẹ́. Kó ìpò ìbádá àgbọn ló fi tì. Bandits ò lè wọ̀ mẹ̀sí o. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọdẹ wa ń fi yé wa pé everready làwọn. Òun ni tá a ṣe lónìí. Màlúù mi jokoria. Kẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ bí wọ́n ti ṣe sábà ṣeré ni. Kí a máa ẹ́ńtà níta lọ ṣe lé nìyí. A dẹ̀ fẹ́ kí tilé tó kó mọ̀ pé àwọn ọdẹ wá wà hàn grand fully òun náà ṣe cover ẹ̀ lẹ́ni. Operation tó ń ṣe ó ti gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ 2 weeks náà ti ń kó gbóran. Ó dẹ̀ continue. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọmọ cover tèmi káwọn èèyàn rí i pé ọdẹ mẹ̀sí wà ever ready ni. Kò sí bandit mẹ̀sí o. AC kidnapper ní mẹ̀sí o.
Rifles, and the hunters in Okakoko rounded them up, And by the way, if you don't know where Okakoko is, it's in Ondo State. I don't know if you're going to be able to make much out of this, but let's take a listen together very quickly.
Lots of bandits. There are more bandits. I'm a devil bandits.
All right, so clearly Amotekun and hunters went out and they caught this suspected bandits who had AK-47 rifles. While that was going on in Okakoko, something interesting also happened in Ibadan. This time it was at Gbagi. Suspected bandit arrested at Gbagi, Ibadan after a gun was allegedly found in his bag. sparking panic before it was handed over to security operatives. Everybody's really angry at this point, and one of the people who is, I think, restless and maybe even frustrated by whatever bureaucracy or red tapeism that may be stopping him from doing what he wanted to do is Sunday Igbo. He said he's not asking for money, but he wants the governor to. It says the governor knows he has the capacity to rescue the kidnapped victims, and he's wondering why the governor has not granted him permission. After all, he established a recon security network with FG approval, but the state government has disapproved. Anyway, I want to take a listen to this conversation that he had and what he said about how the state government is not allowing him, to get in the bush and rescue the kidnapped victims. Please take a listen to this.
Mo ní mo sọ mi dára tèmi pẹ̀lú àwọn tèmi àwọn máa lọ wọn ní ká ní sùúrù níta bá ṣe gàgàrà ọmọ àti àṣẹtì dìgbà ó gọ́fìnà mọ̀ pé mo lè sọpọ́tì nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ wáyé tí ò náà ní sí mi wáyé tí ó máa gbà mí kí n wọlé gọ́fìnà tó wà ń bẹ̀ ó mọ̀ pé mo nípa tí mo lè kó lórí nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn. Okay, mo arrange ìwé ẹkùn security network. Federal government gbà mí láyè. Bí mo ṣe announce kìíní yẹn, federal government gbà mí láyè. State government sọ pé any security kankan ò gbọdọ̀ gbégbèsè kọjá òun. Kọjá ṣé ìwọ wà ń bẹ wọ́n jí ẹ̀gbẹ́ wọn sórí ní ká mọ àwọn tó ń dẹ̀ jí ẹ̀gbẹ́ àwọn àlè lọ bá wọn kájọ jà sórí ní ká fẹ́ mọ tó dẹ̀ nìkan jẹ́ pé bọ̀ kó mọ̀ ní pé mo tún dọ́wọ́ o tó ṣe é nìyẹn ọ̀pọ̀ gbogbo alamọ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nílé yìí wọ́n ní mò ń takò gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì nígbà tó bá rẹ̀ gbogbo àmọ́ tójú mi rí bí ọdún márùn lẹ́yìn ìgboro tí mo dẹ́dẹ́ lọ́mọ mo níyàwó béèyàn bá tiẹ̀ ṣe àwọn mọ̀mọ́ fàyẹ́n ṣòkòtò àti ìyàwó pé sọ̀ọ̀ ìyàwó rẹ̀ ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ jí wọ́n tá fẹ́ jí mi gbé ta èmi nìkan ẹ̀ lè jí mi gbé èmi tí mo tó ń rìn tí mo ń kẹ́rù kú lẹ́yìn èmi nìkan ẹ̀ lè dá mi jí gbé ohun tí wọ́n fẹ́ yìí ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ tèmi náà tó fẹ́ kí ló fẹ́ fi jí mi gbé kí ṣe drug tí wọ́n mú lóró pé èmi lè mọ́ mu drug orí mi pé ju tẹ lọ then àwọn ọmọ mi ò sí ń bí tẹ fẹ́ jí gbé lọ́mọ gan Nàìjíríà ṣe lọ gbé wọn Canada náà bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ gbé ń jẹ́ mi but àwọn tí wọn ò lẹ́nu tó lè secure wọn wá ìtẹ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ káwa paralẹ̀ gbogbo tí wọ́n kájọ jà kí gbogbo wa fi kéèyàn mọ bọ̀ láti Ìbàdàn ṣé kò kọ́kẹ́rẹ́ mọ́ balẹ̀ kéèyàn mọ lọ láti Ìbàdàn lọ sí Èkìtì kẹ́mi rẹ̀ mọ́ sí pèpèpè gbogbo géèmù tó ń gbà yìí nísìnyí èmi mọ̀ dájú lọ́hùn pé géèmù òṣèlú ni àwa dẹ̀ rí aláti corporate igi ọ̀dà ayọ́ náà tọ̀wọ́n ọ̀dà ayọ́ sọnù kò lè jọ́ òjì náà ẹwọ dúnú tí wọ́n ti sọ pé Nàìjíríà ọ̀dà tàbí só ti dà dìsẹ́ náà ni àmọ́ fọdún yìí dún ní ṣé ìjọba Buhari dà Buhari bá dọ́là ní 160 naira ó fi dọ́là lẹ̀ ní náírà something naira ó bá epo ní 64 naira ó fi epo lẹ̀ ní 70 àbẹ̀bí wọn bọ́ fi lẹ̀ ní 800 naira bí 700 kìíní kan ló fi epo lẹ̀ lọ.
All right, that was Sunday Igboho. Meanwhile, in the Guardian Nigeria, Sunday Igboho threatens to expose politicians behind Oyo student abduction. So before we read that, let me just talk on what he just said. He's saying here that the federal government has approved this organization, security network, but the state government in Oyo State, they're not allowing him to get in the forest to... 1 second. To engage the bandits. All right. So he's talking about why they should, and I'm saying this because I know some people listen who are not Yoruba, that, the state government is not allowing him to get in there. But I hope that actually, help. Of course, there's also people saying things like he was threatening that he will release the names of those who are behind the abduction of students in the local government, and that those people are actually politicians. You see that all over social media as well. All right. One more thing before we bring people up, and like I said, we're going to keep it short because of a prior engagement. Oh, Chika Sole Lola. Okay, there's something that Lagos State has done that I think is very, very instructive, and I hope other state governments will learn from Lagos State. And what they've done is to arrest beggars and people who are just in the streets, 144 of them. 144 beggars were arrested in Lagos State at 2 p.m. yesterday. Now, they're not, moving anybody out of Lagos. They're taking them to a shelter or whatever to ensure that they're taken care of, and maybe they will then send them back where they came from. But this is how you can also take care of this whole bandit thing. Being proactive, not waiting to see everything happening, always reacting. So this is something quite good, and this is from Tokumbo Wahab, the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources in Lagos State. Take a listen, please. You can't really make out what they're saying, but I've told you the news. A total of 144 beggars across Lagos State have been arrested as of 2 p.m. today. That was actually yesterday. Okay, that's where you can also make it, prevent, people coming under the guise of whatever to foment trouble. I hope they do whatever they have to do and then let people go back to their states and get busy. May God provide for all of us. There's this video about people talking about Nigeria should prepare for civil war. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I think that's what we'll begin tomorrow's session. But right now, I'd like to bring some people up. Those who want to share their thoughts on today's subjects, actually. So I'm going to bring you up. I see a number of people. But as soon as you get up, please mute so that we don't have interference, and then we'll call on you to speak. If you're joining us the first time, we do have these sessions every weekday, Mondays to Fridays. Tomorrow is Friday, so we'll be having a full session tomorrow. We'll have the news, and then we'll get into a topic as well. All right. Today, so when we're not having full session, it's either the news or a topic. But today, we've been discussing the news. All right, I'm going to bring up a couple of people. Please, once you get up here, mute, and then we'll call on you to make your submission. So it's Thrive and Shine and Adekomi. Where's Concilium and Bumblebee? All right, let's have Thrive and Shine. Please go on. Sorry, before you go, Olushola Oshinawa says, why is it always against Igbo? What do you mean always? Errorao. When was he against Igbo? When you say always, show the share the rini. Olushola, please don't write this kind of thing in the comment section, please. You can't say the governor of Oyo State is working for the Fulanis. Don't say that. Please be careful, oh. Jokes aside, when you write things on social media, you type with boldness like this, you have to be able to substantiate it, though. So if they catch you right now and they call you, come and explain to us. Please, just make sure you have your... I'm not saying you're lying, no. But my advice is, please make sure you actually have proof before you make all this. People are... This is not even bold. This one is more than bold. Well done, Sha. But please be careful. I'm just advising. Let's have Adekomi Solomon. Good evening, Adekomi.
Good evening, sir. Crowley, sir.
Crowley, sure.
We share talking about more, sir. Yeah. I would like to say something about the idea of these people living whatever is happening in their own space, but focus on whatever is happening in other people's space, and then they have a way of magnifying it. the adoption in Oyo State is not a welcomeable idea. We condemn it, and then we pray that may God give the federal government, the ability to, rescue these people alive. We have to understand that right now the federal government, is vulnerable, and what I can see is the federal government wants to bring out these people alive. In fact, by the time you look at the thing these people are requesting for, not necessarily money, they are requesting for the release of their, organs and all. So it's not something, and in a sane society, you can't just say we release your organs and then you get up. No, it's not. That will put the efforts of the security men into waste. We can't. So, and constitutionally, right is protesting is allowed, but please, those that are because I remember when it happened during NSAS. In fact, one of the places where that was targeted was this place where Lagos State has their data center, place like TVC and all. How is that related to the protest? So if you are Yoruba, please use your brain. There's a place where you use your heart and you use your head. You use your heart, you got sympathy for these children, for the teachers, but use your brain when you are protesting for the release of these children, and then you are distorting maybe social amenities, infrastructure, eating machines and all. How will that bring these children back, right? How will it bring them back? And just like I said, about these people focusing on what happened in other people's spaces, Egbo and any other person listening, the viewers are the comment section, the FYP. What I'm talking from TikTok anyway, so that's why I said that. I know there are other platforms, the YouTube and all. What insecurity? What like it's not famine, it's not famine, like insecurity. Let me speak Yoruba. I would like to express myself like this in Yoruba. Insecurity will law. Like what level of insecurity will be up to people feeding on human flesh in their own region?
Let's not go. Did that happen recently?
It didn't happen recently, but I'm just trying to say they do it in their own space with the IPOBs and all. And when they never protested.
IPOB,
they never did
IPOB is recent too. You're saying that recently IPOB engaged in cannibalism?
I'm talking of something. It happened around 2020. Is it 22 or 23? Maybe
Wow.
if I see the video.
That's recent. I thought you were even talking about Biafra War.
Not Biafra War. If I will get you the video. Yeah, I saw a joint operation led by the Nigerian Army, the DSS, and the police, and the government.
Oh, I remember. That's true. They found the pots with human flesh. That's true.
Exactly. Not farming, no insecurity. What level of insecurity will be more than that? And they never raised placard. They never raised anything. Now, just like I said, what happened in Oyo State is not allowed, is condemned. We condemn it, right? It's condemnable. But why is it that they suddenly have this sudden law for Yorubas now? And they are saying the next thing is Tinubu must go, right? I will advise these people, they should keep playing their politics the way they are playing it. They are the ones that will relegate. I don't want to be going into political analysis right now, but they are the ones that will relegate themselves to whichever level they want, but because power is not a la carte. You like Mama Put, just like Wike said, that somebody likes Mama Put, the food is ready, come and eat, right? You want to always snatch power by all means. Keep it up. The rest of Nigeria is watching. Keep it up. And just like I said, I don't want to go into political analysis. Thank you very much, Aigbon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Adekomi. Really appreciate your submission. And yeah, what he said is actually quite true about people eating human flesh. And when he started talking, I thought he was talking about the Civil War. So I was trying to say, let's stay with recent events. But now I remember that, I saw that video, of people actually, carrying human flesh, police, Oh dear, that's true. And yes, you are right that during NSAS, the DNA and Lagos State DNA and Forensic Center was burnt on October 23, 2020. We're glad it's been rebuilt. They burnt other places as well. but how DNA and Forensic Center connect with NSAS? You will not be able to find that connection because clowns don't, and many of these people don't think. So they don't have to find a connection. They just have to show their anger. So what's happening right now, I think it's more like people just going out of their way to show stupidity by moving away from the topic at hand, which is the insecurity challenge that we're having, to Tinubu must go. It's going nowhere. It goes nowhere. This your matter. Go put you. I hope you guys like that song. The song by, what's his name now? Doing the Stoic, something like that. Very nice guy. Lovely song. But I like that part. I go nowhere. All right, let's have some other people contribute to the conversation. I'm going to make this. Someone says, Jagaban 4 + 4 is equal to 8. Yes, so. But you have to fix this this issue and fix it very fast. So we have 2 more people. We'll make it very quick, and then we will call it a day. Good evening, Concilium.
So I missed a part. But what I saw around Fulani. It's around Fulani.
Those
people are burden. After the burden, why? Because there used to be a time, somebody was saying something before, I think in the conversation that we had, that, do you remember there was a time they used to call themselves Hausa Fulani? Now they actually removed the Hausa from the beginning because the Hausa are no longer a factor in their calculations. So they are just now Fulani, and God knows where they are from. Because all these guys, I said something on my Facebook post, that was the last time. Okay, I got Trump to win. I left Facebook right after that. I said something during that period about Jonathan and power. People don't seem to understand that what Europe, as in France and England and US, did to Libya, as in trickle-down effect, I'm feeling Nigeria and see. For years, on the southern flank of Libya, Gaddafi held off a motley bunch of rebels that were in northern Niger. They used to go from northern Niger to Mali, to Burkina Faso. He held them all together, that they should protect the southern flank. And that's where his son, if anybody remembers, that's his son that went to Oxford, or was it Cambridge? They were the ones that gave him up. I think they gave him up for money. I don't know what they gave him up for. I told people that this was a problem that caused all the insurgency in the northern Nigeria. Because that guy used to give them money from time to time. And when they did not find money anymore, they had to go somewhere. I tell you today that if Gaddafi were alive, they would have nipped a lot of all these terroristic in the Arabian world, in the bud. They killed him for no reason. I was even paying attention to one report that came today about a river that he was creating, that he said he was trying to build nuclear weapons, pipes to chaining there. Like, what is wrong with all these people? Now it's a problem because those people don't have water. And their natural aquifers have now been drained to the point where seawater is in one way. That's besides the point. The real issue right now is that we have a huge problem with Fulani. And we don't anybody or this is where they come from, or this is their leader. We don't know. They're just a disparate group that just going around causing havoc and mayhem everywhere. It's a huge problem. And it's been with us for a long time. That natural reserve to Oyoye, I think it borders your own state as well as Kogi and Kwara. One new Belowa, and I heard some assembly guy, or just say the other assembly guy, was telling Makinde a few years ago that these people are coming out from the bush and they are coming to secure over bread 30,000. How? In that part of town, he raised the alarm and the man didn't do anything about it. We don't seem to understand that we're on the front line of these people because rainforest, everything as in Lokewa is savannah. And we don't seem to understand that these people, after a while, open spaces here, they can be found there. they will come down here and start creating problems for us. And going to all these people don't pariwo, I want to pay Tinubu must go. When NSAS happened, kí data center ṣe fún yín? Kí high court, my beloved high court in Igboṣere, kí ló ṣe fún yín? They burnt that whole old building down. For what? Kí ló ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó àwọn properties tó wà ń bẹ̀ tó ti seize fún àwọn judgment debtors wọ́n kún lọ síbẹ̀ wọ́n lọ lẹ́nu tú gbogbo ẹ̀. Why? Why? And it was very, very sad. It was a very sad occurrence. There was no reason for all of that. And everybody knew it. But we're handicapped by the fact that but the truth of the matter right now, nobody, let them call off only one. If they try anything now, I'm a deal with one. I'm a deal with one. I'm a no simple play ini. Konshawa. Ini. Iye bi ala ma fi li won kúrò l'Ékòó. E ma fi li won kúrò l'Ékòó. Madness all around.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you, sir. Eshaun, thank you very much for that submission, considering preventers. Brilliant. Mr. So let's go to Mr. Please hold on. I've not called you.
My darling brother.
Danny,
Good evening, sir. This is Mr. Bayo.
Please hold on. Please hold on. Please hold on. Thank you. I will call on you. Thank you, sir. I was going to say something about what he said. You know what? Since you started speaking, just go on. I'll speak later.
All right. Thank you so much. Emil, I want to express myself in Yoruba language. And because I only have to talk to my people, Yoruba people. We had a protest here in my vicinity today. That was around airports, and everything was peaceful. Right. What they are carrying on about, I've heard that since last night, concerning their request. Mr. Busuyi, Akoko Ibo Kishorewa, Ekeji, I want Tokyo Yano Kishorewa. We are in the middle of this war. Torawa Ibo Mbawafa. I want Tokyo Yano Mbawafa. According to what Mr. Colinio said, 2022, they inform our governor in Oyo State the activities of this so-called bandits and kidnappers. He did nothing. Now, Taba Wudada, onlo jogate ko jogate o fese mejeji lele. When they arrest, when they kidnap, when they kidnap, when they kidnap, in country governor was for the okay, I want any drone ko wa leko, one couple. Why do we have to wait? Why do we have to wait? The time wala mafishele. Ketoma Sorenpo, 7.7 billion naira worth of security gadgets is in Lagos. Nibi tontin kopule. Cherry gbogbo àwọn kan yìí. Teba yẹn dúró bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Ẹ tún wo àwọn tí wọ́n bá Gumi ṣe meeting ní Ìbàdàn. The video is out there. What are these people are still doing in their home by now? Because look at their request. They want.
Let's wait for you to. I think you just take your call. Please pick your call when you're done, because this interference, people are listening. Right. Just
no, don't worry. It's okay.
Okay.
So
that
I'm
saying
that.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm saying now is that all I want to request from Sharia law, stylishly, that's what he wants in Oyo State. There are thousands or hundreds of videos where all these Islamic clerics, they are shouting that they want Sharia law in Oyo State. And in the position of Oyo State, in Yoruba, especially Ibadan, the capital of Yoruba race, only Oyo State, and and Ibadan. So now, I want to go back to meeting some couple of months ago. And what is happening now, they are requesting or kidnap of recent as well. Now, under Tumberi, 1 billion to whatever.
So, please hold on. There's a reason I didn't talk about those things. There is no verified platform that has shared that demand, those demands. No, please.
All right.
If hold on, please. If there's no, please now hold on. Now you would. Jesus, please. You have 1 more minute, please. 1 more minute.
Mr. Busuyi, I don't need to say anything else. I understand what you are saying. But ta dẹ̀ rí nǹkan tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣebí ọ̀bírísẹ̀ kọlẹ̀ nìkan jáde lára àwọn tó sọ pé àwọn ṣe ẹ̀sìn pé àwọn náà fẹ́ establish muslim security whatever kí ló dé tíjọba ò lè gbé wọn tí wọ́n lè invite wọn kàn béèrè question lọ́wọ́ wọn. Why are they now using our people's life to play kite among within themselves? That's just my submission. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀, a máa sọ̀rọ̀. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀, no problem. Thank you.
You know, there are different platforms meant for different things. There are platforms where you can go and vent and say whatever you like. This platform is not that platform. Okay? And no apologies about that. You can share your thoughts and everything you're saying about whatever is not happening in your state. So what the government should be doing, you're right. When it comes to repeating things that are unverifiable, not on this platform. People have different audiences. There are places where people just go and everybody talks and get angry. And there's nothing, I'm not saying there's something wrong with that. It's just that there are different platforms for different things. So the best thing is to understand that, okay, this particular platform, by not shame, but they now stick to what they do there. It doesn't mean that what you are doing is wrong. It's just that it doesn't work with the platform. So when it comes to, these are the demands they made, what is the source? The problem is not that what you're saying, what you're saying, I found it, I've also seen it. But before I say it here, I must be able to say it by Mosiri. But if you talk the way you're doing and I ask you, where did you find it? And you can't tell me, at the end of the day, it's still the platform with my name. Most of you, your name is not here. Nobody knows your face. But we have to be careful of what we have. You cannot say fake news. You will not be there. Okay, so I'm very careful of the things that we share. And it's not so much about, stopping people from talking. It's stopping people from saying things that are not verifiable. All right. Let's have Madam Iboronke. Good evening.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to digress a bit, see on Kototiwa on floor also. But let me first go by the one of those people that you say you have a kind of I don't really want to use that word irritation, but that is the way I see it. See, statement Konkota on Komban Sonia the marketing Nigeria, whatever happens, tí wọ́n máa hype situation bí ẹni pé gbogbo nǹkan tó kúkú tí ẹ̀ ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ń lu yìí kò sí nǹkan dáadáa tó lè tó ń tibẹ̀ jáde. So no matter what, bí ó ṣe lè hùn kó rí, ìlú iná ṣì nílùú wa, and mi ò rò pé ìlú kan wà tó jẹ́ pé ó lè accommodate the whole of Nigeria citizens. So no matter nǹkan tí ìbáhùn kí ẹni tó wà lẹ́yìn odi àbí tí wọ́n feel pé àwọn are out of the Nigerian system tí wọ́n lè máa rò pé ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. The way they hype it, the way they magnify the situation back home here is uncalled for. It's uncalled for. Let's call a spade a spade. And mo máa ń feel pé bóyá mi nìkan náà ni mo máa ń feel bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ni. But I'm very happy when you pointed it out this evening, and I can see that yes, people of like minds think alike, and that is it. Enough is enough. Ó yẹ ká try.
Ẹjọ ṣe lè kúrò níbi tá a ro wà àwọn èèyàn gbọ́ yín dáadáa aró pọ̀ mi tẹ̀ wá. People are saying, and it's true. There's a lot of noise in the background.
Okay. Báyìí nǹkan sà.
Aró yẹn ṣe pọ̀ mà. Aró yẹn pọ̀ gan-an. Like wọ́n rí ń pariwo, but ẹ ṣì máa sọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ bá dé bá lọ sí ibi tó sàrò púpọ̀ sọ máa lè gbádùn nǹkan tẹ́ ń sọ dáadáa. Once you're there, please just unmute you. You can keep, going with your submission.
Like this.
Aró yẹn pọ̀.
Well.
Okay.
That means me ò ní lè contribute lẹ́ni ní. I'm so sorry.
Okay, ẹ máa bá rọ̀ yín bọ̀ náà. Ó náà pé ó ti lọlẹ̀ díẹ̀.
Okay, ó lọlẹ̀ díẹ̀ báyìí.
Yeah.
Is it better? Okay.
Yes.
So ẹ má bínú, I'm so sorry about that. So that is just it. Kí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ kí oníkálukú wa ká máa fẹnu tó dáa pé nǹkan tí ó bá ti jẹ́ ti ìlú yìí, and that is nǹkan tí oníkálukú wa náà fẹ́ nìyẹn, bá dẹ̀ ṣe lè jọ rí ire tó máa wà nù Nàìjíríà nìyẹn. Then to èyí tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nípa ti àwọn Fúlàní tí wọ́n interview tó sọ pé bóyá tribe àbí bóyá ethnic nìkan ní ti tàwọn ọ̀ṣọ́ yẹn náà, mo like bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe answer yẹn náà bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ́sọ́. Kò sí kí anybody má kàn wá fún wa ní any sense of bíi pé Fúlàní kọ́ ni Fúlàní jẹ́. A sọ pé gbogbo wọn náà ni wọ́n ń ṣe, but nǹkan tó bá ti Yorùbá máa ń pa òwe pé àrùn tó ń ṣe abọ́yadé, gbogbo abọ́yadé ló ń ṣe. Tí wọ́n bá ti gbogbo ọlọ́ya ló ń ṣe yẹ ẹ̀sẹ̀ ṣe. Bí àrùn tó ń ṣogójì ló ń ṣọ̀ọ́dúnrún, nǹkan tó bá ń ṣe abọ́yadé gbogbo ọlọ́ya ló ń ṣe. Yes, thanks for that correction. So tí wọ́n bá ti ń nàka àbùkù kan síbì kan, I think it is high time that ethnic tribe had to work on it. Kóníkálukú wọn kí wọ́n, all hands should be on deck on that, and they have to know how to trash it so that people will be more at peace whenever they are around in their communities. Then concerning the one of ti Seyi Makinde and what is happening in Oyo too, I'm not really a kind of a person that love politics, but nítorí gbogbo nǹkan tó ti ẹ̀ ń sọ nítorí ti bàbá yìí, because mi ò rí wọn rí bí ẹni pé bàbá yìí ń ṣiṣẹ́ rárá ní Nàìjíríà. I just don't know. Bí ìgbà tá a bá ní pé òun nìkan náà ló ti ń tukọ̀ gbogbo wàhálà takora wa sínú àbí tá a bára wa nínú èyí ni. So whatever it is, gbogbo wa pátá ń sìn, èmi gan fúnra mi, I've taken it upon myself. Èmi ò ń dìbò, mi ò lè tàn yín. I'm not really that kind of politics whatever, but ní ìtò ń bọ̀ yìí àjọ máa dúró síbẹ̀ ni. Bàbá yẹn is 4+4, God's willing is 4+4. Ó máa ṣe nǹkan tó bá máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Bọ́ọ̀rùn bá máa wó kí gbogbo wa jọ wà ń bẹ̀ kájọ rí nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀, kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀, kò sí nǹkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Then pẹ̀lú àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wa tó kí
ọ. ẹ bá ara pọ̀ pa ẹ jọ.
Ok, ẹyọ kan tó kù náà nìyẹn nípa táwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wa ti tòkè lọ́hùn. Ẹ jẹ́ àfi wọ́n sílẹ̀ ní tọ́ba náà, òun lára ń ta ẹ̀ lè nà ọyàn ká tó kọ bó ṣe máa sunkún. Yorùbá ló máa ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, a lè nàyàn kakọ bó ṣe máa sunkún. Wọ́n ń wẹ́ni kúnra ni, àjẹgbodò wọ́n ń wẹ́ni kúnra ni, whatever it is kí wọ́n fèsì ẹ̀, kó ní kálukú fèsì region wọn. Ọlọ́run á bá gbogbo àgbẹ̀. Nàìjíríà ò ní bàjẹ́, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá náà ò dẹ̀ ní bàjẹ́. Ẹ ṣé gan sà.
Ẹ ṣeun, thank you very much for that submission. Very, very good submission. I really appreciate it. Ẹ ṣeun. We're going to have our final speaker, although our final was supposed to be Madam Ibironke. But àwọn ọ̀gá mi kan wà tó jẹ́ pé àwọn náà fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀. Ṣé ẹ̀yin gbọ́ mi? Mi sáré mi tẹ́ bá ti gòkè sọ̀rọ̀, mi ò gbọ́ yín. Ṣé ẹ̀yin gbọ́ mi? Hello?
Mo ń gbọ́ yín, Professor. Ẹ káalẹ́.
All right, okay. Ẹ káalẹ́. Ẹ káàbọ̀.
Ẹ káalẹ́. Ẹ rí pé mo ta gbọ́ lẹ́yìn ìwọlé ni.
Mo kúkú rí yín. Mo kúkú rí bẹ́ẹ̀ máa ẹ̀yin lálágbára. Lágbára ni yín.
Ẹ kú iṣẹ́, mo kó lè dá náà lẹ́yìn ṣe. Àyà ìlú tó tọ́ ẹ̀ ń try láti weigh gbogbo kìíní kẹ́ balance out. Nítorí for me, particularly a corporate mo fẹ́ sọ, and it concerns the Fulanis. Nítorí people coming Fulanis, like, I mean, well, first time títẹ̀ máa gbọ́ tí èèyàn kan ni wọ́n máa wá sókè ní tó máa make excuse pé òun náà wà kidnapped or whatever, you know. But the thing is, I've never heard gbogbo àwọn leaders wọn náà pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn masses wọn, like they're commoners. They don't come up to say not in our name, not in our name. They don't protest. Ṣé nǹkan tí mo sọ yẹn? So for me, ilé ìtàn sọ pé it's Fulani from outside Nigeria and everything is like, me, I don't buy this thing like it's Fulani from outside Nigeria. Even like if they are the ones from Mali, Niger, or wherever they come from, they are still being aided and supported by the local, what's even local Fulani anyway. I don't believe there's, any local Fulani, but let's accept like in the context of Nigeria, like they've come to say, okay, they are locals. But so they get support from their local people. Protest pé not in our name. We are not the one involved in this. But you even look at, you see, even their airlines and everybody making excuses for them. They are always like, give us, give us, give us, give us, give us. The only thing they don't ask the government for is like to come and sleep with their wives for them. But everything is give us, give us, give us.
Mr. Remy.
Hold on me. It's just in Kotoku now. So these people, they make demands of like, kilode. Chetri Emio, you know where I stand up. Because we cannot continue like this and give past all this wala of the Yamirins and all these people to our unborn generation. So where would they even like it? If it continues like this, I don't see where like our people would even thrive anymore, because we are being squeezed from left, right, center, and everything. So it's let's stop making excuses and accepting on the surface, on the face value, we want people and everything. These people don't talk now. So so on that one, that's just why I came up. And again, no negotiations with terrorists. That's just, if we are like, we just have to be agreed on that. Because negotiation, come what may, people might think like I sound callous or anything, but like, no, we are not negotiating with, we have to start in Yoruba land to put our feet down. But no, we are not. We are not again, we are not, we are not people like you just push around again in the context of Nigeria. Could it work? The smallest ethnic minority to do 50,000, everybody will be standing on Yorubas. No, trying to be in the middle. We have to put our foot down. But no, Debbie Bai could not, the terms and conditions like you want to live together with us in our land will be dictated by us and not from you. Thank you, sir, Professor Ishigo.
Thank you, sir. Well, that was a fact. So here's the thing, Mr. Eme and I, we don't agree. We agree on many things, but we don't agree on some things. But we're still able to have conversations, and I think that's actually the beauty of being Yoruba. But at the end of the day, what you notice is that the passion for Yoruba land is the same thing. Our mode of expressing whatever it is may be different. He wants everything to scatter. Maybe I don't think in that way, but that doesn't mean. I mean, at the end of the day, you can still acknowledge the what's the word now? What actually it is that binds us, right? The love for our land, the love for Yoruba identity, and I think that's how things should be really. And I'm saying this because of the gentleman who spoke earlier. It's not about having an echo chamber. The only reason I stopped you from continuing is not because you're saying something I don't agree. Interestingly, I actually agree with everything he said. But when it comes to providing certain data, you've got to make sure the data is verifiable. That is not so much to ask. And Mr. Emi here, I don't know. I don't think it's catching things. I don't know how it's going to look, what's going to look like. But, and I agree with you. This whole thing about the Fulani people, some people are now speaking up. It's a little too late, but it's better late than never. So hopefully more of them will speak up. But beyond speaking up is actually that we've got to flush people out, and we also have to find a way. The government particularly has to address this idea that certain people are global citizens, that they can move anywhere across borders and nobody can stop them because they belong everywhere. That is not something we can celebrate or even allow in Nigeria, right? There's got to be laws for citizens of the country. There's something called citizenship. And I said earlier, the Yoruba people who are my brothers but are in Benin Republic, they are not Nigerians by citizenship, right? They are Benin. If I go and join, if I said to now want to do something, Nigerians say, oh, the Yoruba people, or the Togolese, for instance, the people in Atapame, who are Yoruba, oh, they can, these are indigenous Yoruba people in Togo, and so they can move into Nigeria because they are global citizens. That's not going to work. They are not Nigerian citizens, they are Togolese. I am Nigerian. But when you talk about ethnicity, we are brothers, we are one. I think that concept of sovereignty shouldn't be lost on people, particularly political leaders who are using these words as, and I know they know what they're doing, but the government has to actually be very, very active on that front. We've had a beautiful run today, and I really want to appreciate everyone who was in part of today's session, everybody who has power tapped, everybody who has, liked, given gifts. like Mr. Emi is giving roses now. Thank you. Everyone, right? Whether you're on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, or right here on TikTok, I really do appreciate your support and your presence here. Consider me first of all.
Ẹ má bínú ṣe rí UN report yẹn tó ní pé gbogbo weapons táwọn people wà Libya yẹn lò ló ti wọ ó wọ Nàìjíríà ó wà lára kan tí mò ń sọ.
Ó yé mi.
What I'm saying nìyẹn àwọn Arabi they didn't catch them when they were it's a trickle down effect nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Libya ló wà affect wa because all these countries Chad, Niger, all of them on top of us they didn't have real governments, they had semblance of governments because then the northern part of their country want to see they found our people here. Not all Obama, Lord, that was Nigeria, and they're the same people. They will go to their people, and they didn't see any money in their country. So they just said, okay, Nigeria, only fund the ICE has to be funded. They have to find the money from somewhere. And Nigeria has a lot of money, and we are the richest part in our neighbors. We are now facing the backlash because all these guys, our AES, our Sahel states, they have to find somewhere to rest their heads now. And what other country, other than the porous borders of Nigeria, don't enter. Tell you saying to marry one.
Thank you very much, Considium. And it's true. It's true. What's happening is actually beyond Nigeria. Shaking, and that's the funny thing. America inoni. Àwọn ní ọ̀dàdà tó ń dá ọgbẹ́ lẹ́nu wọ́n á dálẹ̀ tán wọ́n á máa ṣèṣe bí ìgbà pé wọ́n fẹ́ bá yín tún léṣe, you know. But I mean, this is not the time to apportion blames. Our government they need to sit up, they need to get working, and by the way, let me also acknowledge something that the governor of Oyo State said, and I want to say this because I don't know if the video is here. He mentioned how they've gone beyond. I mean that now we can't be politicking with or politicizing the kidnapped children, right? The folks in the abductors' den that everybody for so like the state government and the federal government should be working together. Now I felt like, that was actually quite good because, you know, for a while now it's been as though they've been having this conversation that being as if there's a power tussle between him and the federal government, even when the federal government sent representatives, people like the NSA, that's the National Security Advisor, Malam Nouri Badu, the Chief of Staff to the President, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila. These people, you know, were in your state, to have a conversation. It seemed as though, there was this tussle, right, from the conversations about state police and this thing that Lagos did and Amoteco and so on and so forth. But we had that conversation a while back. But there's something that he has said recently that I thought I should also play just to give you an idea where things are going now. Please take a listen to, oh dear. We're actually supposed to be rounding up, but I think it's important to listen to this before we go. All right. Okay. Please take a listen to Governor Seyi Makinde, that's the governor of Oyo State.
So it's not the time for us to say, well, it is the president that should have handled this, it is the governor or the local government. This is a time to pull together as one. We're not dealing with normal human beings. We're dealing with these people. I mean, just think briefly. How will somebody take a fellow human being and slaughter him? Is that somebody that is normal? So these are not normal people, and I can only appeal to you, both the students, the workers, the teachers. I can appeal to you to please have trust in your government. We're doing our best. I've had from the federal government security for the past 2 weeks. They spend their salary here. I've been meeting with them morning, night, and sometimes 3-4 times in a day. We shouldn't provide oxygen to the people that want to see us divided. The response at this time should be to pull together, allow the government to see this through. I can give you the assurance that our children and their teachers, I listened.
So I saw. All right. That's actually quite nice. The rhetoric is no longer, about apportioning blames or saying who should have done what or why certain things are not being done. I'm glad the governor actually started by saying that, it's time to work together. So that's actually good news coming from the Oyo State government or governor, which of course is a representative of the government of Oyo State. All right, before we go, I think we have one more submission. We're going to make it very quick, Bumblebee. Thank you. As in very brief. Show you boy, yeah, but please go on.
God bless you, Prof. I think I want to take us back to what happened, some of the things that happened between yesterday and today. Okay, and guys so perpetuate the massacre, I'm wondering why it took them 4 years to reach a judgment of the proper judgment that should be, it's quite terrible. Justice delayed is justice denied. Those people waited too long. Our guys, in fact, we are calling very, very special court system to just prosecute. Look at all the evidences before you argue the case and get a verdict within a period of 6 months to a year. Like we said, deterrence is the best solution to curbing crime and terrorism. Deterrence, show of force, justice. Our guys appeal fast track or politicians. Within 4 weeks, we want to go evidences to one. It's not that difficult, So look at those guys connected to Al-Shabaab all the way from Somalia. From Somaliland. All right, now, from Somaliland. Does that even make any sense? And we don't complain for soldier, they brought Haram all the way from ISIS. Connected to ISIS, connected to Al Qaeda, all the way from Saudi Arabia. Like, I want you make priorities to are right. Their mind is not in the right place. And then so on, say, I want Fulani look on it. I want Fulani look. I didn't know Fulani. They are your people now. You should be the first to speak up the most. Okay, but she Makinde, she so nonsense. Our caller come which way did we need any outsider to come and tell us that she Makinde is talking nonsense? Our Latiko come Bawi I think cash already. This is the country we are in. And we as Yoruba people cannot afford. We are right-thinking people. We are high-level thinking people. We cannot afford to live our life like this. Number two, give them high-powered rifle. We can't be wasting 200 men on a couple of criminals. Give them high-powered rifle to be able to match these people they are going against. Fast tracking. But I also understand that, Tomako rifles or civilians that don't have, that kind of military training and all that have not been indoctrinated, sworn in to serve and protect and all that. There's a level of criminal culpability that they will have, which they need to find a way to work on. But you can't be sending those people into the bush with damn guns. A bottle of fight back. You can't be giving them damn guns that they are using to shoot wild hogs that won't fight back. They are going there with people that have automatic AK-47 and all that. They need to have at least matching weapon. And upon that, drones, alone a drone, $1 million. The Mara drone be nearing $250,000 will buy you an infrared drone. That's about the price of a Rolls Royce. You buy an infrared drone that can comb all those bushes. So even in the situations where they are hiding in bushes, you can see them at night. They will be there. Their temperature signature will be there. Then you can tell your people, you will clear one. But mark up contract to make call Jeloralin Dubai. Bullet Marai wrong, move forward. This is the problem we have. So, Ejo, let them fast track justice. Justice has to be done and justice has to be seen to be done. The people that are coming to perpetrate evil have to know that the long arm of the whole law will catch up to them and will catch up to them fast. And when you are not, you don't need to bring them to the city. You see them with gun and all that. So take care of business there. Take care of business there. Hey, you need lots of power, so long story. You know, but they need the backing of the government so that when they go there and do those things, they don't have a pushback. You know, they won't have a blowback to them and everything.
Thank you, sir.
So let me
thank you very much.
Submission.
All right, Esheon, thank you for that submission, and also thank you for bringing up the war issue. I saw the news yesterday. Those people, they're no longer suspects; they're now convicts. They've been sentenced to death. But some people are saying they're still going to go to the Supreme Court or whatever, but we'll see how that plays out. But thank you very much for your submission, Bumblebee. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody who came up to speak, just as I appreciate everyone who said in the comment section, typing and sharing your thoughts, and those who also tapped across all platforms. I really thank you for being here. So we're going to be calling today now. We'll be here again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Ife time, West African time. In case you join us for the first time, we have the sessions every weekday, Mondays to Fridays, 4 p.m. Ife time, West African time. So we will be here again tomorrow, and by God's grace, we'll have a full session, get into the news, and we'll also get into the topic. Maybe we might be able to get into the book by General Gowon tomorrow, perhaps, or we'll just probably find a day that we'll actually do the book review. But like I said the other day, it's actually quite nice, the book itself, and you can get that and other books on Redomi Books on Telegram. We have a Telegram channel called Redomi Books. If you order your books there, the books will be delivered to you wherever you are in the world. Okay, so please take advantage of that. Also, if you'd like to support what we're doing, please reach out to me on Telegram at Pusui Oris. Your support will be highly appreciated. But now we're just going to listen to the anthems and then we'll call it a day. Here's a Nigerian anthem. Please sing along if you know the lyrics. If not, by now, I would say you should learn the lyrics, but by now, Abba, know the lyrics, okay? Here's a Nigerian anthem. Àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀, ìmọ́lẹ̀ wo ni wọ́kùn lágbára Ọlọ́run, lẹ́yìnbó ní bàjẹ́ o, Nàìjíríà náà ní dàrú. Thank you very much for being part of today's session, and thank you, Bumblebee and Madam Ibironke, for alerting me. I think it's the connection, but I hope you got the latter part of the anthems. So thank you very much for being here. I will see you again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Ife time, West African time. We're going to have a great time together. Please have a lovely evening and see you tomorrow. Odaro, Esho.